Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We're from ES201581. We'll be presenting about the comparison between the neurons and the glial or glial cells. Here's our team members and the work distribution. The introduction will be presented by me, Mimi Zulaika. The similarities between the neurons and the glial cell will be presented by Nur Ain Shafinas, while Hani Atira and Farah Emilia are responsible for the differences between the neurons and the glial cells. And last but not least, Siti Naza Emilia will present the conclusion. In most living things, they'll have at least a simple type of nervous system. As for human, the nervous system are much more complex where it consists of a collection of nerves and the neurons. The nervous system is essential for the body's electrical wiring. It consists of two parts, which are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The basic unit of the nervous system is the neurons. Other than neurons, it also gets help from these specialized cells, which called glial cells. Let's proceed with the comparison between the neurons and the glial cells.
Let's begin with the similarities of neuron and glial cells. Both neuron and glial cell are the basic building blocks of human nervous system. Neuron and glial cell complement each other in order to function normally. Also, neuron and glial cell is similar as it has neurotransmitter receptor that also called a neuroreceptor. In neuron, neuroreceptors are present in the postsynaptic cells and presynaptic terminal, while glial cell has neuroreceptor in the astrocytes. Besides that, neuron and glial cells can be found in the central nervous system and also peripheral nervous system. For the glial cell, epidermal cell, oligodendrocyte, astrocyte, and also microglia located at CNS, while the satellite cell and Schwann cell located at the PNS. In addition, neuron and most of the glial cell arouse and produced in the neocortex by the radial glia progenitus, which is type of the neural stem cells. Lastly, the dysfunction of both neuron and glial cell is associated with various disorders and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer and Parkinson.
Next is the difference between neuron and glial cell. Let's begin with neuron. Neurons are responsible for transmission of nerve impulses between the CNS and body. In the brain, the number of neurons is less than the glial cell. After birth, neurons generally do not divide and cannot perform mitosis and degeneration if injuries happen. There are three basic functional classifications of neuron. Firstly is afferent neuron or sensory neuron, which carry impulses from sensory receptor in the tissue and organ to the CNS. Secondly is the interneuron, which carry nerve impulses back and forth between sensory and motor neuron within spinal cord and brain. Thirdly is the efferent neuron or motor neuron. This neuron carry nerve impulses from the CNS to the muscle and glands.
In comparison to neuron, glial cell or neuroglia do not conduct impulses, but rather support, nourish, and protect the neurons. Glial cells are far more numerous than neurons, and unlike neurons, are known to be capable of mitosis and regenerate if injured. Types of glial cells in CNS. Astrocytes are the most abundant cells in CNS and perform a variety of tasks such as stimulating the growth and maintenance of neurons, regulating synaptic transmission within the brain, maintaining chemical concentration in an extracellular space, and aid in maintenance of BBB. Second, microglia, a small thorny-looking cell that removes cell debris, waste, foreign invaders by phagocytosis. Third, epidermal cell, a simple squamous cell that lines cavities in the brain and spinal cord and creates, secrete, and circulate CSF. Fourth, oligodendrocyte, a neuroglia that wrap around neurons, producing insulating barrier called myelin sheath. In the case of glial cell in PNS, satellite cells are small flattened cells found in ganglia or PNS. Satellite cells assist in regulating external chemical environment. They also supply nutrients to surrounding neurons and act as cushioning cell. Lastly, Schwann cell, like oligodendrocyte, this cell produces an insulating barrier called a myelin sheath.
This is the brief table for the differences between neuron and glial cell that we already discussed earlier.
In the nutshell, neuron and glial cell is the important structure that made the human nervous system. Billions of neurons created trillions of connections in adult nervous system. These two structures possess various vital structural and function types. Despite a variety of the differences of neuron and glial cell, there are some similarities between them. The crosstalk and interaction between neuron and glial cell occur at various levels in the developing and mature nervous system so that it maintains in the best condition.